Well, it's no secret staffing shortages are a big problem across the country, and police departments are no exception.
The bigger departments are being forced to do more with less, and the small departments in small towns and cities are having to make some very tough decisions.
Fox 9's Karen Scullin traveled to Spring Grove, Minnesota, where policing is likely to change.
Life in Spring Grove, Minnesota is quiet, friendly, and safe. The city's police chief helps to keep it that way.
I am 24/7. I've been here long enough, and the people know me enough. They call me at home. They call my cell. They'll stop by my house.
Paul Folz has been chief for 21 years. While crime in a small town isn't filled with murders and mayhem, 2021 data shows over 1,300 calls ranging from accidents and assaults to thefts and scams. Right now, the chief has 91 open investigations. When we were there, an elderly gentleman passed away. The chief personally takes the calls from the family.
My investigation, although it's not leaning towards a homicide, but there are a few questions that I just want to make sure that we get answers to.
Okay.
So that part of that is the time framing of who saw what and when.
Now, typically, Chief Folz has the help of 2 officers to take care of the 1,300 residents. But right now, those 2 positions are open, leaving the chief on his own. Recruiting has been rough. Where there's usually a pool of candidates, there's one. The challenge starting after the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis.
So there's things that could get missed. There are things that maybe if I or one of my officers were responding, we could dedicate more time to that maybe doesn't get done now.
But Spring Grove is like a lot of police departments in the nation facing staffing shortages right now. 75% of departments report recruiting is more difficult than it was 5 years ago. 25% report having to reduce or eliminate certain positions due to staffing shortages. But while big cities grab the headlines on this issue, consider nearly half of all local police departments have fewer than 10 officers. So when a small department loses one, that small town safety net might feel just a little less safe. That quality of life changing from what residents might be used to.
She called my home at 3:30 in the morning, and she was petrified. And I said, well, what's the problem? She said, I don't know what's going on. My oxygen machine is making a noise.
Now, going it alone is one thing, but Chief Folz is set to retire at the end of the year. And he's worried.
Are we going to become the Wild West? No. But I know it won't be what it's been here for the last 40 years with a police department.
And change is likely. The city administrator says Spring Grove is looking into having the county sheriff's office cover policing in the city starting next year. Staffing issues playing a big part in that decision.
You have my number. Give me a jingle.
Okay, thank you very much.
In Spring Grove, Karen Scullin, Fox 9.
And the city of Morris, Minnesota also recently had to make the tough decision to dismantle its 8-person police department after 140 years due to staffing challenges. As with Spring Grove, the county will take over policing there.